Good morning, my beautiful friends. Please disregard the mess that is behind me. But I just want to say good morning. Just took chicken pictures wearing this adorable velvet posing suit from AC Bikinis. So just wanted to put up in here, and again, disregard the mess behind me. It's Saturday morning, and Saturday mornings are the mornings where I generally I do I don't want to say a deep clean, but I always clean up my apartment. So I'm in that process of taking everything, getting everything out before I do the little deep clean. So anyways, welcome to my video. If you are new here, my name is Lexi. In today's video, I'm going to do a little bit of an update on my current progress because guys, this past week has been insane, in a good way. And then I'm going to talk about everything that I can think of that you should pack for your show day weekend, because that has been a very requested topic. So without further ado, let's get this video started. So guys, this is not like a full-on grocery haul, but I did just go to the store to get some groceries, and I want to show you guys a couple random things that I got. So first and foremost, I have not bought eggs in so long. I kind of just stopped buying them when the price shot up because I was going through them so quickly, and I was like, I'm just gonna stop buying them all, and I've just kind of been eating other protein sources. But I'm so excited because I was at Sprouts, and these were $1. I know it's only half a dozen, but still, $1 for 6 eggs, pretty damn cheap for today's day and age. And then I went into Sprouts originally just to get some Brazil nuts, and then got some nutritional yeast flakes. Love putting these on my veggies, on my chicken, on my eggs. Got some spinach, and then I also gotta give a shout out. This is the only Greek yogurt I eat. I've just found that I don't want to sit here and say I'm lactose intolerant. However, my body just does not handle dairy very well. So I've tried other various Greek yogurts, and it just doesn't sit well with me. This brand, this Chobani Zero Sugar, because it's lactose free, I can totally tolerate it. So I use it in my creamy, still on my tofu kick. So of course I had to grab tofu. Something I've kind of been enjoying, and I don't think I've showed you guys, French style green beans. I don't know what it is about the French style green beans. I do not like regular green beans. I think it's a texture thing, but these are so good. And they're very, very low carb for a veggie, like 3 grams. So I don't know, got a couple cans of these because I've been loving them. And then of course, still on my pink salmon kick. If you know, you know. I've talked about this before. It's really good in salads, especially mixed with nutritional yeast. So guys, I just have to show you, this is literally insane. I don't think I've ever noticed stomach vascularity like this. Granted, this is the middle of the day, so this is not me fasted. I have had food, but I don't think I've ever noticed this level of vascularity in my stomach I am lean, don't get me wrong, but normally I have to be at a lower weight to see this. So I'm just baffled by the human body. This is insane to me that my core looks this way in the middle of the day. It's 4 p.m. So definitely not fasted, definitely not dehydrated at all. In fact, I've had a lot of water today. This is just so freaking cool. I can't remember if I've shared these with you guys recently, but have to give a shout out to, in my personal opinion, the most underrated PEScience product there is, and that is these Verselite packets. I specifically love this flavor. There is a reason this flavor is sold out a lot because it is in such high demand. I was talking to the sales guy at PEScience last weekend because I worked a couple of events for them, and he was like, we cannot keep this in stock because it's so popular, but they come in these little packets, and I literally love them. You can drink, so I did find out safely you can drink 4+ a day, or not 4+, I'm sorry, 4 or 5 a day and you're fine. But I love, love, love these. They're so delicious to put in water. I don't drink 4 a day, usually drink 2 a day, but they're so delicious to add into water, and they've got a good breakdown of electrolytes. So I just wanted to show you guys these because I think that they are PEScience's most underrated, slept on product. Okay, so let's talk about what you guys are probably here for, and that is, what do you need for show day, show weekend? Let's talk a packing list. So I mentioned that this is a question I've been getting a lot. Also, guys, I'm so sorry, disregard. I just realized this is bothering me. This is an old sports bra, and this part is coming off, so Sorry if that messes with anybody's OCD. But anyways, I'm gonna go through a list. So if you are competing soon, highly recommend, take notes, save this, of just things that you should pack for show weekend or show day. And I say show weekend because for a lot of us, we do end up having to travel for shows. Maybe, maybe you're not flying to your show, but a lot of times, a lot of us do stay at hotels for our shows. So I'm gonna go through a list of things that you should take and you should pack with you for show day / show weekend. So let's start with some backstage things first, because this is gonna apply to literally everybody, regardless of if you're traveling or not. Number one, roller bag. So I highly recommend getting like a little mini suitcase or like a mini duffel bag that can roll on wheels. And the reason being is it's an easy way to put all your backstage stuff in it. If you have a bag where you're carrying it on your shoulder, that's likely going to rub the tan off. So you do not want that. So a roller bag is number one. Blanket. I highly recommend bring a backstage blanket. One, it's nice to just have something to throw on the floor and sit on, but also it gets really cold backstage at most shows. At least I know I'm always cold backstage, so it definitely helps to have a blanket or two to at least sit on or bundle up with. So backstage blanket, roller bag, robe, or loose clothing. So I think you'll see a lot of competitors wearing like silk robes. Those are great to wear backstage just over your suit. Very easy to take on and off. And then loose clothing is great for especially that first night. So usually Friday night before the show, you'll get your first coat of tan, and you just want to have dark loose clothing that you can throw on after that to sleep in. And I say dark clothing that way, if the tan rubs off on the clothing, it's not probably going to stain it as badly, but usually I just grab like an old black t-shirt and really baggy sweatpants and I sleep in that on Friday night after I get my tan. So you want dark, loose clothing, and I do recommend like a nice, it doesn't even have to be anything expensive, but just a silk robe to wear backstage so you can put it on over your suit. It's easy to just take on and off. Okay, next thing is going to be, and this I guess would just apply to if you're in a hotel room, but also if you're staying at home too, you probably want to do this, dark sheets and dark towels, specifically dark sheets and like a dark pillowcase. And the reason being is if you're staying in a hotel, pretty much all hotels have white sheets and the tan will rub off on the sheets. So you'll get your first coat of tan on Friday night or the day before the show, whenever that is. You'll go to bed at night, and usually like if you do not put dark sheets on the bed, your tan is going to rub off on those sheets, and most hotels are going to charge you for that. So bring dark sheets. I recommend bringing dark towels too. That way if you need to like shower off or have towels for anything, you can use dark towels that will not, like, you won't stain the white towels of the hotel. I also recommend slide on shoes. So definitely something I feel like that's easy to kind of forget for show day or show weekend is a pair of slide on shoes. So I'm not talking your heels, I'm talking just like a pair of flip-flops or just slide on sandals that you can slide in and out of. You probably don't want to be wearing socks and tennis shoes, so bring a pair of comfortable slide-ons that you can just throw on backstage when you don't need your heels anymore. Another thing is going to be a cup, or like I like to personally use red Solo cups, or you can use a pee funnel. So you may be like, well, what the hell? What is that for? So basically anybody who's competed before knows that you do have to be careful when you go to the bathroom when you have your tan. So if you go to the bathroom, let's say you're peeing and it runs down your leg, it probably is going to run the tan. So that's why I don't like the pee funnels. I like just using a red Solo cup because it's like bigger and just you can cut a hole in the bottom and pee through that. That way you can control the stream. Some people like don't use anything, and that's fine. You just have to be careful when you're going to the bathroom. You don't want anything like running down your leg, otherwise it will run the tan off. So and then obviously I did not mention these at the beginning, and I don't even know if these need to be mentioned, the obvious things: your suit, your heels. And I do recommend, if you have a pair of like backup heels or a backup suit, bring it for peace of mind, just in case. It doesn't hurt to have back with you. But those are the obvious things. Jewelry, and then something else that I don't think a lot of people think about, bring extra earring backs. So you want your show jewelry, so earrings, a bracelet or two, a ring, and then bring some extra earring backs. Because consider this, if you're backstage and your earring back falls off, like, you can't wear your earrings. So I always say bring some earring backs. It's a good just thing to kind of have just in case. Another like little peace of mind thing, if you want, not that I would say you have to bring this, but for those people out there who get like really worried, nervous, bringing like a little mini sewing kit backstage too. That way if something happens with your suit, God forbid something happens to your suit, but generally if like, let's say a suit connector straps, that's definitely going to be something you can fix pretty quickly with like a little mini sewing kit. So you can always bring that for peace of mind. I would also recommend, bringing some extra, like especially also even if you're getting your makeup professionally done, which I always do, bringing some extra like lip gloss, or not lip gloss, lipstick too, just to touch up throughout the day. Because a lot of times if you're getting your makeup done at like 4 a.m. in the morning, by finals at like 5 p.m. it is probably going to have faded, so bring some lipstick to kind of replenish. I also recommend bringing some hairspray or even some just shine spray, because that's a really big part of your hair on stage, is you want it to look tamed, you want it to look controlled. So definitely bring some hairspray or some shine spray, so that way, you know, if it does get a little frizzy before you go on stage, you can just kind of brush it out, apply some hairspray or some shine spray, and be good to go. Obviously, I don't want to like sit here and list off food to bring, because everybody's protocol regarding what food they're going to need to bring backstage is going to be a little bit different. But backstage bands, definitely bring those. You know, I know some competitors will bring dumbbells backstage to pump up with, but those are pretty hard to travel with. So I always have my athletes bringing bands. So the bands that are like the tubular bands with the handles, I wouldn't use like a normal booty band that you put around your knees, because that could potentially rub off the tan. And then other things too that I get questions about from my athletes is like glue for the suit, or the glaze, right? So before you go on stage, you're always going to get glazed as a competitor. Now at most shows, the tanning company backstage is going to be glazing you, and they will also have glue if you need it for your suit. You don't always need it for your suit. So if your suit fits really well, you probably will not need glue, but you will definitely get glazed before going on stage. But most, if not all, tanning companies are always set up backstage, and they're going to glaze you before you go on stage. So you don't really have to worry about bringing that, you know, on your own. Some last just kind of miscellaneous stuff, and this stuff is all optional, but I think it can definitely help and enhance things on show day. So if you can get like a little ring light too to put on your phone, I think those are great, because sometimes I know, you know, I'll ask my athletes for pictures on show day, and they'll be backstage and they're like, hey coach, the lighting is terrible, sorry. And so that can, you know, kind of make it hard in terms of picture quality. So I always say if you can get a little mini ring light for your phone, I think it can be great. I also recommend, so if you've ever competed before, you know that once you get the tan, you can't use deodorant. And for some people, they really worry about that. And so I will always recommend, like if you're worried about BO or anything like that, bring perfume or like a body mist, and you can just spray that on your clothes to kind of mask whatever smell you're worried about putting off. But I would say the biggest question that I just always get from like competitors is mainly what to wear after you get the tan. So I know I kind of mentioned that a second ago, but basically you're going to get your first coat of tan the first night, so usually Friday night, and after that you just want to wear something loose, like I said, loose, baggy, like long pants. And why I say long pants is if you wear shorts to bed, you're going to probably rub off a lot of the tan on the sheets, and then just a loose, baggy, dark t-shirt. That's usually what I wear after I get tanned, and then I'll just wear that in the morning as well when I go get my second coat of tan. And then I usually don't even put my suit on with my robe until like right before I go backstage. So those are kind of the basics of like what to bring backstage that I can think of that are, you know, you should definitely have. So if you guys can think of anything else, or if I'm missing something, because I'm sure I am, comment below. I'd love to hear from you guys, but hopefully this was just a nice little condensed list and refresher if you know you have competed before and you're competing again soon. So one of the things I did mention a second ago, don't mind my horrendous nails, but I did mention on show day, I think it's very helpful to bring like a lip gloss or a lipstick to touch up with before finals, because that is the one thing makeup wise it generally does not last all day. And I just want to give a shout out to this company. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm gonna say Kika, but she actually sent me some of her lipsticks or lip glosses, and I've been using this one in particular. It is the blush color, and I feel like it would work really great for a show day too. So if you need a good lip gloss lipstick, check her out. And then I also have this one as well, and this is just the clear gloss, so if you want like a little shine, you can put it on your lips. It's just the clear one, but she has lots of different colors. I personally just like this color a lot, and I think it goes really well for a lot of show day looks as well. So if you need a good lipstick, lip gloss, check her out. All right, you guys, I just want to kind of wrap up this video and talk a little bit about this past week and like my personal journey. So I posted earlier in this video like my stomach and my core, and I definitely feel like this past week, I have noticed so many changes in my body. I tell my clients this a lot, and I feel like I don't want to say everybody's prep is not the same. That's not what I'm trying to say, but I do find that I think a lot of you guys can probably attest to this. Like I have been essentially, you guys know I've been really quiet about just my prep right now, just kind of coasting and moving along. And I have honestly been kind of in this phase since the beginning of the year, if not a little before January, right? So here we are in May. And I feel like, at the beginning, obviously you see changes in your body, but it's really slow, right? And sometimes it has you second guessing, like, are things happening? Are they not? But I feel like now I'm at a point where it's like, I almost feel like I wake up and I see some changes every day, right? Now, I also feel like this is the point of prep. And once your body gets to a certain level of leanness, I feel like that's also when your mindset does a lot more up and down, right? You have some days where you feel really great. You have some days where you don't feel really great. And actually last week was the first time in my prep where I started to have like bad body image, but in the opposite direction that like most of the time we're used to. So meaning like, I was like, oh my God, I just feel so small. But that's when I know like, okay, you're getting lean, right? I feel like every competitor probably, goes through that phase or goes through a stretch of days at the depths of prep where they're like, oh my gosh, I feel really small. I always say if you don't feel really, really small off stage, you're probably not stage lean. So I just know I've been through preps before. I know this is a part of the process, but as I get leaner, I do tend to find that I'm a lot more up and down just with like my body image. Some days I'm like, oh, I feel great. And other days I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't feel so great. I'm too small, right? But I try to take those feelings with a grain of salt because I'm like, all right, Lexi, you're not changing that drastically. Like you feel great one day and you don't feel great the next day. It's not like visually you could have changed that much in a span of a day, right? It's all the mindset. So sometimes this is where I just lean in and I adopt the mindset of like, don't think, just do. But anywho, that is gonna wrap up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this YouTube video. I am headed to Pittsburgh this weekend for the Pittsburgh Pro and then the Natural show on Sunday. I have a couple clients competing, so I'm really excited for that, and I'm gonna vlog the whole weekend. So if any of you guys are gonna be there, comment below. I'd love to meet you. But I hope you guys have a great day wherever you are at in the world, and I will catch you in my next video.